Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to St Mary's, Perivale. On Tuesday afternoon, we always have a solo piano recital, and it gives me huge pleasure today to welcome Ronan Magill to play for us. He's had a long and distinguished career you can read about on our website, and earlier in his life, he knew very well such legendary figures as Menuhin and Britten and Fanny Waterman, a whole history of the mid-20th century classical music. Very impressive. Anyway, he's playing for us today, and I'm delighted to have him. The program is as billed on the website: Scarlatti, Bach, Beethoven, Chopin, and Liszt. So something for everyone. You're in for a treat, and I'll get off the stage and give a warm welcome to Ronan to play for us. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ronan Magill, and I'm absolutely delighted to be appearing here at St Mary's, Perivale. And I'm deeply grateful to Dr. Hugh Mather for inviting me. The program today is a very mixed fare, as Dr. Mather said, starting off with a lovely sonata by Scarlatti. But what's fascinating about this sonata is that, in fact, it is almost two sonatas in one. Starts off with a beautiful andante, and then we are led straight away into a lively allegro. And these two moods alternate in this sonata. And it's a really fine piece, which I love opening concerts with. So here is the sonata, Kirkpatrick number 162 in E major by Domenico Scarlatti. I do so love the innocence in that sonata, the lovely way it begins and the innocent feelings expressed by what would have been then a 60-year-old Scarlatti. Fascinating. Now, the next piece is a Bach Prelude and Fugue, and it's from the first book of the Well-Tempered Clavier. This piece is in C-sharp major. Now, can you imagine anyone in 1722 writing a piece in C-sharp major? I certainly can't, and neither did Bach. Indeed, the whole point of the Well-Tempered Clavier was to have preludes and fugues in every single key that was possible. But to bring this about was a very complicated and long process. And I'm sure Bach was as technologically informed about tuning and everything else as anybody, any scientist was. And any sound scientist, any tuning scientist, he took a great deal of interest. And what was also extraordinary was that he managed to give these keys like A-flat minor, G-sharp minor, or C-sharp minor, all these keys which were never hardly used in those days, and to make them still relevant today in pieces when we hear them. So here is the Prelude and Fugue in C-sharp major, a bubbly work by Bach. next piece I'm going to play is the Sonata in E major, opus 109 by Beethoven. This sonata, by the time this sonata was written in 1820, when Beethoven was 49 years old, he had already composed most of the works for which he became famous. The Pathétique Sonata, the Fifth Symphony, the Eroica, the Pastoral Symphony, the Symphony number 7 and 8 were already written, as well as the Mass in C, and he'd already started hard work on the Diabelli variations in 1819, which he was to continue later. And then with the Hammer Clavier that was written, finished in 1818, that was a really important moment for Beethoven, because he thought then that he had achieved such technical means and mastery of large forms to be able to consider writing much, much larger works, like, for example, the Missa Solemnis with its huge span and the Ninth Symphony. So it was really an important moment in between the Hammer Clavier and the Missa Solemnis, which was in 1823, that he wrote his last 3 piano sonatas. They were absolutely, completely original in form and in treatment of well-established sonata form principles. All this was completely new. And anyone listening to the beginning movement of Opus 109 in 1821, let's say, particularly if they knew something about sonata form, the first theme, second theme, development, recapitulation, and all that, would have been absolutely horrified by the first movement. He would have said, why on earth are you starting with a nice allegro, or vivace in ma non troppo, as you like to call it, but then you break off into an adagio suddenly after 8 bars? It's crazy. This is unheard of, as indeed it was. And this is what's going to happen when I play it for you. The second movement is a very rather irate, but beautifully passionate as well, prestissimo. And then we have the famous variation movements with its 6 variation, which cover a huge variety of emotion. And while the theme is indicated by Beethoven, mit innigster Empfindung, with great depth and expression, he's not afraid to poke fun at it as well, as he does in some of the variations. So while you play piously the first beautiful variations, suddenly you find yourself making fun of it as well. And that's Beethoven all over. He'll smile at you, and then he'll be deep, but then he'll kick you in the backside suddenly. That's Beethoven's character. And it happens all through his music. So here is the sonata in E major, opus 109. see what I mean? It's an absolutely glorious piece. And a piece which I played for the first time when I was 19. And I'm 67 now, and I'm still discovering so many new things about it in every performance. Okay, the next piece will be a Mazurka by Chopin. Now, I was very lucky in Paris to study with several teachers, but one of them was a remarkable Polish man called Ronan Magill, and he explained to me all about the Mazurka, and where it comes from, and the different dances. There are three main dances in Mazurkas. You have the Mazur, you have the Kujawiak, and you have the Oberek. And in this piece I'm going to play now, Opus 17, number 4, is a rather soulful Kujawiak, a rather slow, romantic, forlorn melody. But then there are little moments of hope in it, where the Oberek stamping dance comes in the middle of the work, when it turns into the major. It's an A minor mazurka, and A minor was always a key that Chopin favored very much for his more soulful mazurkas. But this one is particularly special, I think. It has a sort of outburst in the middle, and like a true Slav, when they look at hope, they think, oh, it can't be right. There's no hope at all. And so he sinks back into despair at the end. But what a wonderful way to do so, with lovely chromatic harmony. So here is the Mazurka in A minor, Opus 17, number 4, by Chopin. And now to the final piece in this program, a work by Liszt. And what a work this is. It was, it's a long story really, but so I'll try and cut it very short. The secret of the piece is really all to do with a rite of passage of a young man who was ill at odds with himself and with the world. And he has to go through a cauldron of self-discovery to find the true meaning of who he is and how he can give to others in this life. After all, you can't give to others if you're all mixed up yourself. So you've got to sort yourself out first. And this is really what the middle section, this fantastic, extraordinary tirade that happens in this work. It starts off very calmly with this soulful man being miserable, if I may put it that way, with the left hand. So everything is in this hand, and I'm very happy about that. And then a theme comes in the top, and it's a kind of angel, really. And the secret, I think, also to explain about this work is that all the emotions are introspective. It's all happening inside. And so the angel theme that comes in, it's fascinating, this theme, actually, because I'll just go to the piano and see if I can explain it. Oh, dear, I can't. Never mind. It's just to do with ti-da-dum, these three notes. Ti-da-dum. And then later it becomes ti-da-dum. So we have the minor and the major. It's just a semitone difference, but it changes the entire color. And you'll notice this after the stormy passage in the middle, where he's wrestling with himself. And the left hand does all kinds of strange octaves, and the right hand does tremolos, and Liszt loves tremolos. If there's anything he likes, it's tremolos. And it creates this fantastic orchestral effect on the piano. And the work ends in great victory. So let's start with our lonely man. Here is Valedor Man, which of course I forgot to say, it was a novel by Etienne de Sénancourt. So, and the name of the character in this novel was Obermann, and Obermann is the character that we hear at the beginning. So here it is.
Well, that was an extraordinary recital, absolutely wonderful. Very moving performances of the Beethoven, the Chopin, but the whole lot. Beautiful sounds out of this mere Yamaha. Some people think this isn't a very good piano, but I think it's Ronan makes it sound quite like a top Steinway. It was wonderful. And the average age of most of our pianists who come here is about 21 and a half. And it just shows that we get someone who's been around a bit longer. You get a bit more experience and a bit more beauty, and it's a terrific recital. I've been bowled over this afternoon, Ronan, and we'll get you back again. It was extraordinary. It's been a special afternoon. And if you'd like to show how much you enjoyed it at home, you know what to do. Please go to our PayPal facility on the website, and please donate to keep these concerts going throughout the summer. And in the autumn, we may be opening again after Boris's pronouncements yesterday. You don't know. We might have a green light ahead of us. We look forward to that. But meanwhile, these concerts will continue, and we will continue streaming, regardless of whether there's a live audience here or not. So if you're enjoying this from afar, you can enjoy at least another 80 or so concerts this year. Thank you very much for being with us. We have a wonderful cellist on Thursday, Maxim Calva, and a fantastic piano trio on Sunday with the Brahms B major. So that'll be a good concert. We're in a good run at the moment. Thank you very much for being with us. Tell your friends. Please donate, and see you next time. Bye.